Varsity baseball action for you on PEGTV, Channel 15. Munger Vision. You're looking at Mike Sorelli of MSJ, number 22, with his back tee, and he'll be pitching against Black River today in a non-league contest that will feature two very well-coached teams, teams with good talent, and teams that really have had good seasons to this point. You're looking at John Durgan. He'll be the right fielder for Black River, and he is going to be the top of the order here, and he'll be inside and almost got hit by a pitch by Sorelli. That'll make it a 1-1 count. Now, Sorelli did pitch on Wednesday. He pitched one inning. On Monday he pitched one inning of relief. Actually pitched a one-batter and got the final out. And that one did hit him, and that will send Durgan down to first base. So the first batter is hit by a pitch, gets on base, and I'll bring up David Creaser. Creaser's going to be second baseman for Black River in those very familiar burgundy uniforms, coached by Jim O'Neill. One of the better coaches in the state of Vermont, probably in all of New England. Him and Glenn Carter used to coach together at the Rutland County Royals, and they had the bunt in place. The ball was too high, and Creaser let it go by, and that's going to be a ball. We're in the first inning, scheduled for 7. Like I said, a non-league game, but still should be a fun game. And Durgan with a lot of speed over there at first base had a pretty healthy lead, and that's going to be out of play for a foul ball and a strike. Now, MSJ with an 8-3 record coming into this contest. Big game coming up. I just hope they don't look past this ball game to Friday's ball game with crosstown rival Rutland High School. And that'll miss. A little bit low as he's trying to get it on that inside corner and just a tad bit below the knees. So Sorelli, that breaking ball didn't really break for him. He'll run it to a 2-2 count now. This is Creaser at the plate. The number 3 batter on deck is David O'Neill. And the pitch on the way will be, rings him off right on that corner. And that is one of the spots Sorelli likes to hit. And Sorelli also will paint those corners all day if you let him. Now O'Neill with Sims on deck, the cleanup hitter. So O'Neill will start at the shortstop position today. Handles the bat extremely well if they want to lay down a bunt or a slap, or he can hit the gaps for power also. A lot of speed, a lot of baseball knowledge, a lot of baseball instincts in O'Neill. Fun players to watch out here for high school ball. So from the stretch, he'll throw over to first base, and the run will be back. Durgan sliding over there. Remember, he got nicked by a pitch. That's how he got over at first base. Then Sorelli came back, got a strikeout of Creaser, and now he'll face the number 3 batter in the order, and this is going to be O'Neill. Runner going, the throw coming down, and yeah, that'll sail into center field. Haddock will pick it up. He's right there, and it looks like McCormick's going to get up a little bit gingerly as he got up in the air for the tag, and the runner came into him, and that's a very thin bench for MSJ already, and hopefully Colin will be able to get up and be okay. And they're waiting for Coach Carter to come out, and yeah, we'll let Coach Carter take care of the situation. We'll come back from the fade. Well, the good news is McCormick able to get up, stay in the ball game at second base for MSJ. Durgan seemed like he had a little problem also, and they checked him out. Coach O'Neill did, and he's okay. So that'll be a strike right there, and after a brief pause in the action. Again, this is a non-league game scheduled for 7. We're in the top of the first. Black River at the plate, MSJ in the field. And if you need any information, you can go to the website at PEGTV, which is www.pegtv.com. And also, they have that new feature on the website online where you can go to the website at PEGTV.com, click on the video on demand, and watch programming right there on your computer. So they couldn't make it any easier for you. That's chopped hard, and that's going to be a tough play. That's going to be a real tough play, and he'll beat it out. Oh, they call him out? Oh, man. I got to tell you, I'm a hometown fan, but there was no way he was out at first base. So MSJ getting a little home cooking right there, and that'll be a second out of the inning. That'll bring up Anthony Sims. Now in batting practice before the ball game, Sims was just cranking on the ball. I mean, he was launching them over on the St. Joseph's Avenue, and that will be a strike called. So there's 2 out. Durgan gets down to third base for Black River, and Sorelli with Carter behind the plate. And that breaking ball came in high. It's Bill Scholdice over at first base. Colin McCormick's at second. Ryan Gilbert is at shortstop. And Nolan Rhodes at third base. That pitch right there for a strike. Eric Ladebush is the right fielder, and Willie Haddock was in center, and Rich Cussell is your left fielder. That's the MSJ defense here in the top of the first, and Black River trying to grab the lead here. They got a runner at third base, but with 2 down. And Sorelli brought that fastball inside and backed him off the plate a little bit. That'll be a ball 1. We'll have a 2-2 count. And if Sims can extend this inning, we'll have John Rebin on deck, and he'll strike out. That'll end the threat. They'll strand a runner at third, and that's the first strikeout of the ball game for Mike Sorelli. So that's Jacob Cavell out there on the mound for Black River. You'll have Ian Rebin behind the plate, and the leadoff batter for MSJ, of course, will be Colin McCormick. So McCormick, we'll look at ball 1 outside. McCormick, Gilbert, and Carter due up. I'll set the rest of that defense for you in just a second. After this pitch will be ball 2. Like I mentioned, their battery is Cavell and Rebin. First base is Chris Kowalski. David Creaser's at second. Dave O'Neill's your shortstop. Kyle Ellers is at third base. And this pitch coming in at 2 balls, no strikes. We'll be right there for a strike. Anthony Sims is your center fielder. Your left fielder is Bobby Rohrig. And that will be outside for a ball. And I just need a right fielder and I'll be okay. John Durgan. John Durgan's your right fielder. And that will make it a full count. So we'll go to a 3-2 count to the leadoff batter, Colin McCormick. And I'm just caught up on my paperwork. I got a late start today. I got here early. I talked to Jim O'Neill, the head coach, for Black River, and got him looking. Oh, great pitch. Struck him out. McCormick will be retired as he strikes out looking at that pitch on the outside corner. Now Ryan Gilbert up the shortstop for MSJ with 1 down and nobody on base. And again, he will bat in that number 2 spot, and he's been pretty productive at being up in the order like that, as has been McCormick. That was a pitch that was high, and it could be a gapper. It's going to sail, and it's going to drop in for at least a double for Gilbert. He will look at second, stop at second, and he will have a 1-out double. And he went out of the strike zone for that. That was a pitch that was well up in the strike zone, and he tomahawk chopped it out to second base. So he'll be at second with Ryan Carter up now in the number 3 spot today. Carter, the catcher today. Like I said, Sorelli and both Haddock and Sorelli with plenty of innings left if they need to split duty today. Plus, Scholdice only threw 3 innings on Monday also. So they have plenty of innings and arms. And yeah, we're going to have the batter ask for time. He'll get time. And everybody looks all set now. So from the stretch, we'll have Cavell with the pitch. And it's a breaking ball that didn't quite break. He had the first batter struck out and then got that first pitch well up in the strike zone. And I thought it was a bad decision at first, but it ends up being a base hit. So with a 1 ball, no strike count to Carter, he will drop that one over. There you go. He makes it a 1-1 count now. So Cavell, as his counterpart, has a runner in scoring position. Remember at the top of the first, Sorelli hit a batter. It was Durgan. He ended up at third base. Yeah, that one just didn't snap out of his arm good. So as they get set here for a 2-1 pitch, I'll tell you the defense again in just a second as I'm just writing down the last 2 positions for MSJ. I usually have my bookwork all done before I get here, and that'll be in the dirt. A nice stop by the catcher behind the plate. Rebin with the grab right there. So each team threatening here in the first inning, their first at-bats. And again, a non-league game, but a game that features a lot of crossover players that play together for the Rutland County Royals. The coaches, very familiar with each other, coached. And that'll be a ball. So he will walk Carter as he threw him a lot of breaking balls. Now Bill Scholdice up, and Bill Scholdice has just been hitting everything in the zone. He has just been Doing a good job of getting the bat on the ball. If he has to go to the opposite way with it, he will. And he's up there now with runners in scoring position. He's got a runner at first, and of course the runner at second is Gilbert. That's the man in scoring position as we will get set here for the pitch to come in. And Schuldice knows that strike zone. He'll watch that one come in too low for a ball. So Jacob Cavell, after getting that first batter out, looking for his control right now. Schuldice hitting in that cleanup spot. Thought they took too long. He'll ask for time and get time. We're in the first inning, scheduled for 7. And Will Haddock, the center fielder, is on deck for the Mounties. Nice warm day. Day almost reminds you of what weather should be like this time of year. Is temperatures in the mid 70s right now. See that swing by Schuldice? That was picturesque right there. It'll be a foul ball. It'll be a strike. So just to reset, Cavell is on the mound. He's pitching. Rebin's behind the plate. Kowalski's at first. Creaser's at second. O'Neill's at shortstop. Ellers is at third base. Rohrig, Sims, and Durgan are the outfield. And that's the Black River squad, coached by Jim O'Neill. And you notice how deliberate between pitches Cavell has been. Boy, and that's lifted, and that's deep, and that's very deep, and it's going to be settled underneath. And nice catch by Durgan. He'll get the ball in, and he'll advance the run. See, that's good coaching right there. They got the runner on the fly ball to tag up and get to third base. So that'll put Gilbert at third base, and staying at first base is Carter on a deep fly out by Schuldice. That ends up going to the right fielder, Durgan, who was shaded well over. They were playing him to pull the ball. Now Haddock up with 2 down, and that runner at third base. And Cavell just trying to get that last out. And they want to put the shift back on and play for the left-handed hitting Haddock. Now he's had a great season at the plate, Haddock has. And that just missed a little bit too far inside, and that'll be a ball. We're in the bottom of the first, and each team has had a runner as far as third base already. So see what they want to do with Carter down at first base. They didn't courtesy run for him. He's going to be the catcher today. A lot of times coach will come in with a courtesy runner for his pitcher and catcher. And that's going to get their job done. That's going to drop in. Yeah, where is it? Right there. And they're going to send Carter to third, and he will just be safe. And I tell you, he did that Monday. Did not slide on a close play, and he didn't slide there. And so that will be an RBI single for Haddock, and he'll stay at first base. So Gilbert will come in to score. So that double pays off by Gilbert as it turns into the game's first run. And now that'll bring up Mike Sorelli, the pitcher today for MSJ. So Sorelli, like I said, he pitched to 1 batter in Monday's game against Pulteney to get the out, get it done, and struck him out. And he's a starter here today, so I really wouldn't think that would be any issue as far as innings and how his arm feels. And he threw very well in that first inning. He had 2 strikeouts. So it's 1-0 MSJ, and fouled off. Runner was going to. Haddock was off on the pitch, and Sorelli will fall that one back down the first baseline out of play. And we'll just set everybody back now, and it'll be a 1-1 count. And Jacob Cavell is out there on the mound for Black River, and he's also got a strikeout in the ballgame. He caught McCormick looking for the first out of this inning to the leadoff batter, and then Gilbert got the offense going. And that is going to be a fair ball. Nope, foul ball. I had to wait and make sure. They'll send Carter back to third. Haddock will go to first, and that will just be a strike 2 called on that foul ball. Like I said, Sorelli at the plate, Cussell on deck as MSJ has got their number 6 hitter up. So they've sent 6 batters to the plate here in the first inning against Cavell. Of course, MSJ coached by Glenn Carter. Black River coached by Jim O'Neill. And the catcher all set, gave the signs, and Rebin wants that pitch on the outside corner. Probably looking for a breaking ball down and away. Never broke for him, and the runner will take second uncontested. They will not throw down, and Haddock will be there. So Sorelli looking to deliver that quote-unquote timely hit here. Possibly get 2 runs in. Can Haddock down at second base, has real good speed. That's going to be down, and Creaser has it, sets himself, turns, fires, and did he do it? Safe. Nice job of keeping the ball in play where they're at first base. And the run does come in, and that'll be the second run of the ball game. As Carter comes in to score, he'll get his catcher's gear on now, and Haddock ends up at first base. And Cussell does get the bat, so the 7th batter of the inning coming to the plate for MSJ. And now they'll bring the courtesy runner in for the pitcher, Mike Sorelli. Sorelli will wait right there, make contact with the hands, and they have the runner on at first base. And it's going to be Champagne. So Champagne will come on to courtesy run for the pitcher, Sorelli. There's 2 down, 2 on, and 2 runs in here in the bottom of the first. And again, pitching from that stretch. We'll see if Coach Carter wants to send Champagne on the steal. And that's going to be out of play. So Rubin, Kowalski, Creaser, O'Neill, and Ellers on the infield. On the mound is Cavell, Rohrig, Sims, and Durgan in the outfield for Black River. Again, non-league contest. Got a little breeze going. Feels good on this warm day. And they're going to throw down, and there's the cutoff play by O'Neill. He's going to come home, and yeah, they had the play on to cut the ball off. And going to third base is Champagne, and he's going to stay. See Coach Carter tell him to hold up. So O'Neill with a very uncharacteristic, erratic throw. Yeah, and Haddock will score the 3rd run of the inning. Sorelli's courtesy runner, Champagne, will end up at third base, and this is all happening with 2 down. So 3-0 MSJ, and Covell right there. They had the right play on. They brought the shortstop in, O'Neill, to cut the throw off and make the throw home as the runner had released. And I think a good throw would have had him, but it sailed on O'Neill, and that's a strike. That's a good pitch and make it a 1-2 count. So Black River's Jacob Cavell trying to get out of this inning with just the 3 runs being scored. And this all got started, don't forget, with Gilbert getting the double from the number 2 spot in the order. Boy, I see the catcher, Rubin, trying to bring the ball back in and steal a call there. It's a nice job of framing the pitch. He didn't get the call, but he had the right mindset right there. So it'll go to a 2-2 count, and from the windup, the pitch will be in the dirt, and a nice stop by Rubin. The ball only got about 1.5 feet, 2 feet away from him. The runner, of course, did not try to move up on that. And that runner at third base is Will Champagne for MSJ. Came in to run for Sorelli. And a full count now on Cussell. Cussell's had big hits this year for MSJ. And that's a great defensive swing. Because that was maybe going to be a strike, maybe not. It was one of those borderline pitches, and you don't want to sit there and wait to see what it was going to be called. He just reached out and fouled the ball off. Good defensive swing with 2 strikes. Now he'll get a chance to step back in there, see if he gets the pitch more to his liking. That hot sun that was out, it's gotten hazy now. And that'll be a walk. So that pitch well outside and low, and the catcher did a nice job to go down and get it. And Cussell will go down to first base. He's the 2nd walk of the inning. There's been a double and 2 singles in this inning, plus the 2 walks. So Nolan Rhodes up to third baseman. Rhodes is the 8th batter to come to the plate for MSJ here in the first inning of play. And that just missed again. He's just tailing off, not getting the outside corner. Just missing. Now I don't know the game plan as far as how many pitches or pitch count or innings that Coach O'Neill wants Covell to go. That'll be ball 2. But he's getting now into this first inning where he's pitched to 8 batters and gone deep in the count to several of them. He's going to be looking at a 30-35 pitch inning right here in the first inning alone. Black River brought quite a good amount of fans to this ball game. There's a strike. He'll get that one called right at the knee. So MSJ with that 8-3 record lost. Well, you call it on the road. They lost to Rutland at George Eddy Park. Foul tip caught for a strike, and that'll make it a 2-2 count. Then they lost on the road where Mount Anthony and Bennington, Mount Anthony came from behind to win that. And then they lost on the road in Brattleboro. Same deal. They had the lead, and Brattleboro came back to get them. And that is going to be playable. And it's going to be settled in. Caught, cleared out. MSJ, though, will have a 3-run first and 8 batters to the plate. They'll have a 3-0 lead going into the second inning of play over Black River. For Black River, you're looking at Ian Rebin, Kyle Ehlers, and Bobby Rohrig do up here against Mike Sorelli, who's been staked to a 3-run lead. We're in the top of the second. And again, it was a nice day before, but now it's gotten real comfortable. The sun has kind of been muted by the cloud cover, and even though it's a warm temperature, very pleasant for the fielders to be able to look up and find the ball without any problems, because St. Peter's Field notorious this time of the afternoon and evening for that sun field that the left fielder and the third baseman and shortstop have to contend with, and Sorelli will miss down low and it'll go to a 2-1 count. Again, this is the first look through the lineup still for Black River, as they sent 4 batters, to the plate. They stranded Durgan at third base, and that is hit towards center field, and Hadeka will slide over and make the catch in front of Ladebush for the first out. So Willie Hadeka. Or they keep putting in the book Will Hadeka, so I think that's probably what he wants to go by. So Will Hadeka will catch the fly ball for the out. Now bring up Kyle Ehlers, now the third baseman. So Sorelli with 2 strikeouts in that first inning, 1 looking and 1 taking, or swinging. Yeah, first strikeout, the batter watched it go by him, and then the next strikeout was a swinging strikeout, and that pitch called a strike on an inside corner to Ehlers. And that's going to be off the end of the bat fall, so Mike Sorelli, number 22, quickly up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. I'll tell you, there's a lot of things not fair in life. You know what's not fair? The mobile ice cream truck that plays the ding-dong music there, they drove by and never stopped and came up in the booth and see if I wanted ice cream, which I did, very badly. Good job of keeping the weight back and holding up on that change-up or breaking ball by Sorelli, and it stays at a 0-2 count. Very good defensive 2-strike swing. So Ehlers trying to get himself on base here and get that offense started up for Black River. Nice job. Sorelli fields his position very well. And Schuldice will make the catch, and that will be 2 down now in this second inning. And the only base runner was a hit batter. That was Durgan back in the very first batter that Sorelli faced, and then he got stranded over at third base. We're at 3-0 MSJ with the lead. Top of the second, Black River at the plate. And it's a good eye to lay out that pitch. This is Bobby Rohrig and the pitcher, Cavell, on deck. If they can extend this inning to 1 more batter here, Black River. Having a very good season under Jim O'Neill. That was a swing and a miss on a knee-high fastball. An excellent location. Good velocity on that pitch also by Sorelli. Elevated the fastball. Yeah, he's sinking out there on the mound. I mean, he's sequencing these pitches very good. Rhodes is the third baseman defensively. Gilbert is at short. McCormick's at second. Schuldice at first. And that's going to be snagged, Rhodes, and yeah, that's going to be a base hit. Yeah. And what happened there was the base runner kind of stood around for a second. Now he took off, and he'll be at first base. And tell you what, I am unofficial. Now it's hit so hard, I'm going to give him an infield base hit. Now, if it isn't, because like I said, I'm unofficial. Don't crank on me, you official guys. So 2 down and a runner at first for Cavell. Jacob Cavell up with Chris Kowalski on deck. And that's going to get the runner down to second base. So all this going on with 2 down. So for the second inning in a row, Black River has a runner in scoring position. Remember, they had Durgan at third base to end the top of the first, and now they've got Rohrig at second base, and that's going to be called a strike. He'll get that inside corner, tickle it, and get the call. So the Mounties with that 3-0 lead, and Black River trying to do something about it here in this top of the second. And it's getting fouled off into the screen, and Ryan Carter will take a little jaunt, go and get the ball. I see him check it out, and he'll give it back to his pitcher, Mike Sorelli. Yeah, we have more softball action from Mill River, more baseball action from MSJ coming up. And don't forget, on June 28th, the Vermont All-Star Basketball Challenge. That's going to be a ball too low. Yeah, the Vermont All-Star Basketball Challenge will feature the best men's and women's players from the state of Vermont taking on the best men and women player from Western Massachusetts. So the 28th starting at 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock at College of St. Joseph, the provider, and Sorelli will get them swinging at Lynn the Threat. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still 3-0 MSJ. New pitcher out there for Black River is Brad Cross. Now I feel embarrassed because I can't read my writing, but it looks like Cross, not Gross. It looks like C-R-O-S. So I'm going to go with Brad Cross, and he will be a lefty, obviously, and that's going to be just a little bit low. I had some great movement on it. 2 balls, no strikes. So the starting pitcher, Cavell, goes 1 inning, gives up 3 runs. And that's going to be a ball, so he'll be 3-0 in the count. And I should tell you, this is Eric Ladabush at the plate. He represents number 9 spot in the batting order, so top of the order on deck, and Colin McCormick. And he took it all the way. He took 4 straight balls, and so Ladabush with his good speed will be down at first base. Colin McCormick struck out looking in the first inning with Ryan Gilbert on deck now. MSJ sending 8 batters to the plate in that first inning. Have the leadoff batter on for the 2nd inning in a row. And that hit McCormick. So McCormick took one for the team right in the gluteus maximus there, and he will go down to first base, and that is the 2nd player hit by a pitch, 1 for MSJ and 1 for Black River. And Ryan Gilbert up, he had a double to the left center field gap, and he eventually became the game's first run. And there's a good pitch by Cross. That'll become a strike, so he's got greeted by 2 runners being on. First is 1 on first, 1 on second with nobody down, and Cross. That's going to be out of play. It's going to be over onto River Street and out of play, as you could see Gilbert trying everything he could to hold back his weight on that big old Bill Lee lollipop curveball. And he got a piece of that. Durgan giving it a chase, giving it a chase, giving it a chase. And he made a great catch. Will he get the double play? Just got back safe. I'll tell you what, where's John? That was an outstanding play. He told me it's the first time he's played the outfield. He's been second base, shortstop, pitcher, third base. And to just chatting with him before the game, because he was a Rutland County Royal. That's how I know John. So 1 out, runners. Well, third base, the guy at third base moved up. That's, of course, Ladabush. And McCormick scrambled back to first base. So a tremendous catch by Durgan. And now you're going to be looking at Ryan Carter up. He walked and scored his only at bat. And again, he's up there with men on base. And he's always a threat, like I tell you, to get a hold of it and crank it on out. Got a lot of power, the young man does. He'll swing through that. They'll throw it to the O'Neill. He'll cut the ball off. They will not release the runner from third to home. And obviously McCormick is safe at second base. Carter, then Scholdice on deck. And 1-1 count to Mr. Carter. Great pitch. Started right at the knee of Carter, then broke over the inside corner. And you can see now Cross starting to get into a little bit of rhythm out there on the mound as he's came on in relief of Cavell. Carter held up on it. There's O'Neill. And O'Neill will throw it away, and that's going to be a dead ball. And 1 run had already came in. Now the 2nd run will come in. And that is just so unlike Dave O'Neill. A couple throwing errors here in this ball game. Ladabush will come in to score. McCormick will come in to score. And Carter will end up at second base. So Scholdice up with just 1 out now and still a runner in scoring position. And it's 5-0 MSJ. And Scholdice flied out his first time up to Durgan. And got that big shift on where, whoops, let me change that. There you go, you want this shot. Yeah, Durgan caught the ball and he is basically almost in right center field. Just like Sims, the center fielder, is almost in left center field. They respect Scholdice's power and be able to get hold of the ball and crank it and pull it. And a 1-1 count to the MSJ senior, who was part of that state championship hockey team. And that pitch called a ball. So a 5-0 game in the second inning. Very surprised by that. And been hitting the ball well, MSJ has, but there's also been aided by some fielding mistakes out there by Black River. So he'll have a 3-ball, 1-strike count. And Schuldice at the plate. Hadeka will be the on-deck batter, and yeah, good pitch. Cut him off at the knees with that one, and then we'll go to a full count now. There's already been 1 walk issued here this inning. That was to McCormick. Well, McCormick actually got hit by a pitch. And it was Ladebush that walked. There we go, now I'm all set. So Schuldice is prepared, and foul tip caught for the, that's only 2 outs, guys. There you go, the pitcher was leaving. So Schuldice, you hear the ball nick the bat, and then a nice job by the catcher, Ian Rebin, to hold on to it. And so with 2 down now, that's the second strikeout of the game for Black River pitching. The first one here for the reliever, Cross, and that's going to bring Hadeka up. He had an RBI single back in the first, and eventually he came around to score a run. Now Hadeka, like I said, he's been stroking the ball very well all season long. Started hot and has just stayed hot. And he's had some good innings on the mound at the pitching spot also. So I don't know what the game plan is with Coach Glenn Carter as far as how long he's going to let Sorelli throw, how far into the game he'll let Sorelli throw, but he has Hadeka with plenty of innings left also to come in if he's going to split duty. He had Bill Schuldice pitch the other day, and he did a good job. And I believe he only threw not a full 3 innings, Schuldice. So there's plenty of arms out there to be used, and like I said, I know they have their big game coming up in 2 days. But every game's a big game. That's a great pitch. That one got the corner with a 3-0 count, and that'll make it 3 balls, 1 strike now to Will Hadeka. There are 2 down. Oh, just missed. Catcher did a great job of just trying to slide that over, but that was a good call as it stayed outside just a smidging. Now Sorelli up, and he had an infield single and an RBI on that, from that. He ended up getting stranded at third base back in that first inning. We're only in the second. MSJ with a 3-run first and a 2-run second so far with that 5-0 lead. And that one never had a chance. It started inside and just stayed inside. So with Sorelli up, Rich Cussell will be on deck. As again, MSJ going deep into the order here in the second inning for the second inning in a row. And that one will get past the catchers. Went 5-hole on him. Carter will jog down to third, and there's Willie just pulling up into second, and so we'll put runners at second and third with 2 down. And so Sorelli can do a lot of damage here with a base hit. Hadeka, the trail runner's got all the speed, and I tell you, overthrew that one as Brad Cross put some extra oomph on that fastball, and he just overthrew on it. And the pitch from Cross, and that'll be ball 4. I'll load him up. So the base is full of Mounties right now. And the 8th batter to come to the plate will be Rich Cussell, and that'll be the first 2 innings. MSJ sending at least 8 batters to the plate. So there's time called, and they're going to bring the courtesy runner out again for the pitcher for MSJ, who's over at first base. That's Sorelli. Last time it was Champagne, and it looks like Champagne again. And it is. So Will Champagne in the ball game, number 12 for MSJ. And he will run for the pitcher, Sorelli. MSJ looking for their 9th win of the season. And that's going to be fielded. Cross will set his feet, toss to first, get the out. The Mounties are up by 5 going into the 3rd inning play over Black River. And Chris Kowalski will step up to the plate for the first time today as we're in the 3rd inning, and Black River just getting through their order for the first time. And Kowalski will take a ball. Durgan and then Creaser do up for Black River. They've had runners in scoring position. Almost a great catch by Gilbert. Great effort by Gilbert. I almost couldn't see it because I was late zooming back because I couldn't locate the ball myself. So they'll have the base runner on. The leadoff batter will get on base here for Black River as Kowalski had just enough juice on the ball to get over the outstretched reach of Gilbert's glove. And now Durgan up. He was hit by a pitch and he got stranded at third base in the first inning. And Durgan can handle the bat. If they want to do a little hit and run or slap here or drag bunt, he can sacrifice, but he can also bunt for a base hit. And we'll see what they want to do here with Sorelli. Oh, I'll see what Sorelli wants to throw for pitches, actually. And he'll come inside, and Durgan will jump a little rope there, and that'll be a ball. It's a slight breeze blowing, but what breeze is blowing? It's a hitter's breeze. It's blowing from first base out to left center field. And that'll miss outside for a ball. So 2 balls, no strikes to the second hitter here of the third inning as number 9 hitter Kowalski got a base hit. Now Durgan, Creaser, and O'Neill due up unless they get a double play. Then scratch O'Neill. And Hadeka on his horse. Hadeka, great catch by Willie Hadeka. Oh, he found the ball, tracked the ball, and used that tremendous speed of his and athletic ability to make the catch. And so that's going to be a beautiful play because I actually got that one on tape. That's good. And when I say tape, I actually mean I still shoot videotape, VHS tape. I'm probably the only guy left in the whole New England area or state of Vermont at least who doesn't shoot digital. I convert it after to DVD, but I just shoot so many events that, you know what's killing me? They're stop manufacturing VHS tapes. Plus my cameras are old and I can't get parts for them. Hard to find people to work on them. Creaser, we'll swing through that for strike 2. That has some heat on it. Creaser struck out looking at strike 3 in that first inning. He's up here in the third with a runner at first, one down on that great catch by Hadeka. Yeah, and Sorelli really putting some pop on the ball, or throwing kind of, and that'll be a 1-2 count. He has 3 strikeouts in the ball game. That's a good stop by the catcher Carter. The runner's going to try, and he's going to make it. As the throw will be backed up by Hadeka. The runner's going to take off for third base, and he'll be in there. So that was a hot potato. So what happened there was pitch got by Carter, then he threw it into center field. Ball got away from Hadeka. And when all the dust settles, what it amounts to is there's 1 out and a runner at third base for David Creaser with Dave O'Neill on deck. And Sorelli with a 2-2 count. Got him. I love it. He elevated and jammed him and just overpowered him for the second time in a row. That's each time now Creaser struck out looking, and that time he went down swinging, and O'Neill up now with 2 down and a runner at third base. If they don't pick the runner up here, that'll be the 3rd consecutive inning that they've had a runner to at least 2nd or 3rd and have not brought him in. And O'Neill will pop up, and Bush will make the grab, and they'll strand another runner in scoring position. It'll stay 5-0 MSJ going into the bottom of the 3rd from St. Peter's Field. So Nolan Rhodes, Eric Ladebush, and Colin McCormick due up here for MSJ in the bottom of the 3rd, and Cross coming out for his 2nd inning of work. He came on in the 2nd inning to start in relief of Cavell, Jacob Cavell. We're in the 3rd, 5-0 MSJ. That looks like Sims has a pretty good beat on it. Makes the grab for the first out, and it would be much to the liking of the Black River defense here to get a 1-2-3 inning. They have faced 8 batters in the first, 8 batters in the second, so just into the 3rd inning they have had 16 Mounties come to the plate. That's a lot. That's a lot. And Ladebush with a good eye there will watch that one come in for a ball. Now Ladebush walked and scored back in the 2nd. That was his only time up. So he's getting a 2nd look here at Black River pitching. First time he's seen Cross, so it's just like starting over again. Every Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock, Tom Leopold, the program director down at Channel 15, tells you to get ready and watch all the local sports games of the week as That's Saturdays at 4. They start playing local sports and just keep it going all the way through to the church services on Sunday morning. And don't forget that website that has video on demand where you can get there and click on and watch the programs on channel 15 right on your computer. That is off the end of the bat and foul. So that will make it a even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And like I said, Ladderbush has done an outstanding job in that number 9 spot, producing some big hits for MSJ. He waited and it's popped up, and Sims, taking 4 or 5 steps in, will make the grab. He'll have 2 putouts this inning, and that's 2 outs of the inning. So 2 down now, and McCormick coming up. And Colin McCormick has struck out and was hit by a pitch, stole the base in that same sequence, and then scored. MSJ with a 3-run first, a 2-run second, and Black River trying to put a goose egg up there in the 3rd on him. And that fastball just elevated, but a tad bit too much, and Brad Cross will be down in the count, 1 ball and no strikes to Colin McCormick. That'll be outside for a ball. McCormick, like I said, knows that strike zone will make the pitcher work. And Ryan Gilbert will be on deck if McCormick gets on base. And that one just a tad bit too far outside, and they'll go to a 3-ball, no strike count. See if they give him the green light here. If it's in the zone with a 3-0 count, see if they let him turn loose on it. Nope. Take it all the way, and that'll be a strike. So we'll go to 3-ball, 1 strike count. 2 fly balls to center field to Anthony Sims, and that's been the 2 outs here this inning. That will be ball 4. So McCormick will be on base for the 2nd time in 3 at-bats. He was hit by a pitch, and now he's walked. And Gilbert up. Gilbert's got a double and scored a run in the ball game. So the shortstop for MSJ. It is all set. And that fastball high by Cross. So Brad Cross and Ian Rebb in the battery now with Kowalski, Creaser, O'Neill, and Ellers on the infield. Rohrig, Sims, and Durgan in the outfield. Willie Haddock with a highlight catch for MSJ in center field, and John Durgan with a highlight catch from right field for Black River. So we've seen some good play already through 3 innings. And time called, and there seems to be some confusion on the signs, or maybe on a green on a pitch. It could be a couple things we're talking about here. So they'll get together, work it out, and I'll tell you also that you can watch Sports Beat on Channel 15. It is on Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. So whatever they talk about, they've settled it up. They're good to go, and the pitch on the way from Cross. Well, came in high above the belt, and he will not get the call, and that'll make it now a 3-0 count. So he got 2 fly ball outs, relatively easy. Then McCormick walked. Now Gilbert right on the edge of walking, and again, right now Cross just not looking comfortable. And then that'll be a ball. So runners go to 1st and 2nd, and all this happening with 2 outs here on back-to-back walks. Now Ryan Carter, not the guy you want up there in this situation if you're Black River, but Carter there, and Coach O'Neill coming out and going to talk to Cross, and I'm not sure what's the issue going to become here, but they'll walk to the mound, and we'll see if he'll make the move, or if he's just going to have a chat, try to settle down the lefty. So Coach O'Neill coming out and talking mechanics with Cross. He said he's got to come more over the top with the pitch. He's coming down sidearm with it. And that pitch is a ball. Carter up there with 2 down and 2 on, and 5-0 MSJ lead in the bottom of the 3rd. Yeah, and Cross will get that one across the plate. Like I said, Jacob Cavell started the ball game, went 1 inning, surrendered 3 runs, faced 8 batters. Started the 2nd inning, Cross came in. He faced 8 batters and surrendered 2 runs, and he got the first 2 outs here of the 3rd, and then ran into a little bit of problem with his control, and he'll have a ball right there. Scholdice on deck. And Carter today has walked and scored, and he also reached on an error. Yeah, and that's going to allow the runners on that wild pitch to go to 2nd and 3rd base. You can see the trail runner right there, Gilbert, at second, and that was McCormick scampering down to third. So Carter looking for a pitch he can get a hold of and drive it. Well, he waited and waited and waited, and that's going to be O'Neill. He'll set his feet, and that's the inning. They'll strand 2. They'll hold them scoreless. MSJ 5 and Black River 0 going into the 4th. So in the 4th inning, we will see a new pitcher for MSJ, Ryan Gilbert, out there. He was the starting shortstop, and he'll replace Mike Sorelli, and Sorelli will replace him. So they'll send Sorelli over to play shortstop, and Ryan Gilbert now the pitcher. Sorelli will be the pitcher of record. If the score holds out, MSJ wins the ballgame, he'll get the win. He went 3 innings, didn't surrender a run, struck out 4, at least 1 per inning. And Sims at the plate. So Anthony Sims, who has struck out and is only at bat, will take a strike there. And Gilbert seems to have brought his own cheering section here. Won't get to call that one. Faded too far outside. We'll be at 1-1 in the count. And yeah, I'm looking around. That's the only change, is that Sorelli went from the pitcher to the shortstop's position, and then Gilbert went into pitch. And it's going to be hit down to Sorelli at short. He'll pick it up, make the throw, and nope, he'll be safe. And wait a minute, we have a new first baseman. So there'll be a base hit. And MSJ's got a new first baseman I got to get a hold of here. I don't. Oh, it's Carter. I'll say number 20 because I haven't seen his jersey number from the catcher spot. So Carter. And I'm wondering if that makes Schuldice the catcher. I don't know. Doesn't look big enough to be Bill. Looks like his haircut though. Yeah, that's Bill. So Bill's catching now. So Schuldice is catching. Carter's gone to first. And Ian Rebin is up there at the plate. He flied out to Hanukkah. And so Black River's had runners on each inning, just haven't getting the timely hit. Oh man, Gilbert looked like Nolan Ryan with that one as he jammed him up and inside with the fastball and got him swinging. Location, location, location. Kyle Ellers is on deck for Black River. And that got away from the catcher because the pitch went behind the batter. So Gilbert, a little erratic right there, will get the runner over to third base on a wild pitch. And the count to Rebin goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And so Gilbert will go back to the full windup, and the pitch delivered. I'm waiting for the indication. Fair ball. That's going to be an RBI, and kind of the second base with the stand-up double and an RBI will be Rebin. So he gets the RBI, and like I said, he's standing up at second base. And they will make it a 5-1 game off the reliever Gilbert. Now, like I said, it was a little dinker of a hit that got the runner at first base, and then Gilbert, with some wildness, threw the ball to the backstop. That allowed the runner to get to third, and that base hit there scored him. That pitch outside. Again, this is going to be Kyle Ellers, and then Bobby Robrig on deck. And then I'll have to see what they're going to do in that starting pitcher spot, Cavell spot. That's Rhodes. He'll back up on the ball, look the runner back, he's got a long throw, and they're going to throw to third and throw it away. Yeah. The ball, though, was backed up brilliantly by Sorelli. There's Sorelli. So he kept the ball from going out of play. He kept the runner from scoring. And MSJ with a very sloppy 4th inning here. Okay, I got to tell you, they called. There's 1 down, so they called him out at first base. Wow. So Eller's out and Rohrig up now. I'm getting old. I mean, honestly, we all are, but I mean, I'm getting old. In my eyes, I like the 20-year-old that I used to be. I thought Carter came off the bag to meet the ball, and the runner was safe, but he was called out, and It's probably the appropriate call. So there is 1 down, 1 run in, and a runner at third base, Ian Rebin. And Roehrig should be at the plate. Now he had a single, an infield single his only time up. So Gilbert's come in here in relief and has had to work hard. Well, one thing, and it's not just Gilbert, I see all the pitchers do this. He's trying to throw too many variety of pitches instead of just concentrating on establishing a pitch and then working on the second pitch. He's thrown probably 5 different pitches. He's having some control issues with his breaking stuff. He might want to go back and just locate the fastball in different spots on the plate. Yeah, see, and again, I don't know why young players think they need to throw big sweeping curveballs. But, like I said, he's usually a third baseman, shortstop, or second baseman. They got him in pitching right now. He has pitching experience. Yeah, you got him for a strikeout there. So 2 down now. And this is Cavell's spot, and I'm not sure who he's going to come up. Oh, number 10 is going to come up. So that will be Cross. So Cross will hit in the 8th spot, and I believe this is his first at bat. Now you can throw one pitch and make it look like several different pitches. He could throw a fastball high, fastball outside, change a little bit of speed on the fastball. You know, find a pitch that works for you. And I'm just picking the fastball out because I think he's struggling with the breaking ball, but right there he's trying to spot the fastball in the corner and miss for a 2-0 count. Again, there's just a slight breeze blowing, not a big humdinger of a breeze blowing. And that's going to be over to McCormick, to Schuldice, and that's going to be the inning. They will pick up a run. They'll cut into that lead. It's going to be 5-1 MSJ going into the bottom of the 4th over Black River. And Schuldice up there with Brad Cross back on the mound. In the 4th inning, he'll start him off with the ball. So it'll be Schuldice, Hadeka, and Sorelli due up here in the bottom of the 4th. MSJ up by 4, 5-1 over Black River. They scored 3 runs in the 1st, 2 runs in the 2nd, and were held scoreless in the 3rd. And Durgan moving over, and makes the grab. He, like I said, he talked to me before the game, said he has never played the outfield, played right field, but he's done a good job out there. He's a natural ball player anyway, so I mean, he sees the ball and tracks the ball. Well, that's twice today he has retired Schuldice. Now Hadeka up. He has singled, scored a run. He's also had an RBI, and he's walked. So Lee Hadeka's had a very productive, very busy 2 at-bats. That will float in there, and he will lay off that, and that will become 1 ball, no strike count. You are looking at beautiful St. Peter's Field for this non-league varsity baseball action game on PEGTV Channel 15, Munger Vision. Got American Legion Baseball Post 31 coming to you all through the summer, starting in mid-June. And good baseball action. You should watch it on 15, and you should also catch it live. And then on June 28th, you have the Vermont All-Star Basketball Challenge, as the Vermont All-Stars, both men and women's All-Stars, taking on Western Massachusetts men and women's teams. And again, those games are at College of St. Joseph, the provider, and they will start at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And it'll float in there for a ball. And a good job by Hadeka laying off that pitch. There's 1 out and nobody on base. And like I said, Sorelli on deck. Hadeka with a hard shot up the middle, and he's going to be on base for the 3rd time today. And boy, he's got a sweet stroke. He's got that nice left-handed smooth stroke. He doesn't pick the foot up and leave it out of the bucket like a lot of lefties do. He doesn't fade on it. So Hadeka with a 2 for 2 day. Don't forget the walk. It's unofficial. Now Sorelli had an infield single, had an RBI. And he's also walked. So getting a lot of production on this portion of their order. That's popped up. That's going to be tracked down by O'Neill. And boy, did he cover some ground. I want to show you how far that shortstop went out. There's the infield. He did a great job of tracking the ball and catching the ball. So 2 outs here for MSJ. And Rich Cussell up. Cussell has walked and grounded out to the pitcher. And he'll put that into play, and that's going to be a chopper coming up to O'Neill. He'll flip to second. He'll get the force out, and that's one of their better innings defensively. They'll come up in the fifth, down 4, 5-1. So Chris Kowalski up for Black River in the fifth inning. He's the number 9 hitter, and then on top of the order will be due up, and he'll jump back out of the way of that breaking ball. Gilbert out there for the second inning in a row. Sorelli started, went 3 innings, didn't surrender a run. Gilbert came in the last inning, gave up a run. He had some help from his defense behind him. As far as, Gilbert with a few wild pitches, and then he threw the ball around on the field, and the run scored. And Kowalski had a single his only time up. That was not against Gilbert, that was against Sorelli. That will be called a strike, so it goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes in the fifth. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the MSJ administration, the athletic director, the athletic association, and the entire MSJ community for allowing me to videotape their sports and then play it on public access television. You are very, very smart. The community loves to watch the local athletes play, and you're a very good high school, and you understand the concept of community service, unlike some high schools in the area. So thank you very much, MSJ. That's a strikeout for Gilbert, as he'll get his second strikeout in relief of Sorelli. And now top of the order, John Durgan up. Durgan's been hit by a pitch, and he's flied out to Haddock in center field. Durgan will make the spectacular play on a catch in the outfield, the defensive play. And that's going to be down to shortstop. Oh, Rhodes will cut it off from short, throw to first, got it. What a play by Nolan Rhodes. He looked like Brooke Robinson or Craig Nettles or any of those great third basemen. Rico Petrocelli, all of them. Oh, he deserves some high fives. Great play out there by Rhodes. That'll be 2 down. So David Creaser up. He has struck out twice today. He's looking to fix that as he's looking at a new pitcher here. Man, that was high and tight, and he swung late, and he still fouled it off. That was impressive right there. So after all of that, it just goes as a foul ball strike. And again, 2 down, nobody on base. We're in the fifth, scheduled for 7, 5-1 MSJ over Black River. And Black River, defensively, the last couple innings have done very well. As their pitcher, Brad Cross, has settled down nicely. That's going to be a swing and a strike. Great location on that pitch by Gilbert. But, yeah, after giving up 5 runs in 2 innings, the first 2 innings, Black River has held MSJ scoreless in the third and in the fourth. And he'll swing through that miss. He'll tag him, and that's the inning. So Gilbert with a couple strikeouts, and the big glove there being flashed by Rhodes, and we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. MSJ up by 4. So after making a brilliant play defensively at third base the last inning, Nolan Rhodes will get things started off here offensively for MSJ against Brad Cross, who has settled down nicely here in the third and the fourth. He has faced just in the fourth inning, he faced 4 batters. Like I said, he's kind of, since Coach O'Neill's come out and talked to him about his mechanics and coming over the top more than coming sidearm with his delivery, he's improved his strikes to balls ratio very much so. So it really is about mechanics, everything, fundamentals, mechanics, stuff like that. That will just kind of squirt out of his hand and go. After that big build-up, it goes to 3 balls, no strikes. Bill's, again, he didn't start the game. Jacob Cavell started the ball game, and he went 1 inning, faced 8 batters, and then in the second inning is when Brad Cross came in, pitched the second, third, fourth. Here in the fifth now, he's going to be looking at Rhodes, Laddebush, and McCormick. That's who's due up for MSJ. And that is ball 4 in the dirt. So Rhodes will head on down to first base, and that'll bring up Laddebush, who has walked and flied out to Simpson center field. And again, this thing's still up in the air. I mean, it's only 5-1. It's only a 4-run lead. And I am not sure. Are they making a pitching change? They are. Looks like John Durgan coming in to pitch for Black River. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see. So what they did, they brought Durgan in from right field to play first base. And then took Chris Kowalski, the first baseman, put him on the mound. So it'll be Kowalski, the third pitcher, and the second left-hander that MSJ will be looking at. Third pitcher of the afternoon for Black River, and the second left-hander they have thrown, and that's going to be a strike to Eric Laddebush. Like I said, Laddebush has walked, scored a run, and flied out to center field. Top of the order, McCormick on deck, and Ladderbush will show bunt, pull it back. Runners going, throw down, and they got him. Yep, beautiful throw. Great throw by the catcher, Ian Rebben. Put it right where the tag had to be, and they get Rhodes out stealing, so that will make it bases clean now. And one down for Ladderbush. And there was no contact made on that play either at the plate, which I think there might have been called for to kind of slow down what just happened. You know, a lot of times people go, geez, you know, I mean, you're stealing the base. Well, a lot of times too, and I'm not sure because I didn't watch the signs. A lot of times he has no choice. It's a contact play, and he's got to break and go. And if you don't make contact, you leave your runner hanging out to dry. That's fouled off and down toward the first baseline, and Rebben will head down and get it. And now the base is clean. Like I said, we're only in the fifth. This is scheduled for 7. You're only up by 4. Black River starting to gain some momentum off their defensive effort now. With, like I said, with the scoreless third, the scoreless fourth, and right now they have nobody on base and one out here in the fifth. That could 4 runs isn't a lot to have to make up with 2 innings left. And if you start going through the book and looking, also Black River's had runners on base. They just haven't got the hit when they need it to drive in runs. So you know this thing far from over. And MSJ would, I think, 3 more home games left for this 2008 season, and then the playoff pairings will come out. We'll have to see what happens. Mill River girls softball with a couple home games left, and then I'm pretty sure, barring a catastrophe, that they'll have a home playoff game, and I'll be there for those. And that's going to be a base hit. That's going to drop it in front of Sims, and he'll scoop it over to O'Neill, and that'll be a base hit now for Ladderbush as he continues to hit so well on that 9th spot in the order. So McCormick up there, he has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and walked. So he's been on base 2 of the 3 times, and also he has scored a run today. And he's got a stolen base just for the heck of it to fill out his stats. So on a warm, actually a pleasantly warm evening from St. Peter's Field, bringing you high school varsity baseball action, 5-1 MSJ over Black River. MSJ at the plate. And the pitch. That's down to third. They'll take the lead runner out. There's one, and that's what they got. Got the lead runner out, so they'll force out his Ellers through the ball over to Creaser, and that's what they got. I'm just doing my bookwork, so give me a second. So I went 5-4 on the force out. And I'll bring up Ryan Gilbert now. Gilbert now the pitcher. Started the game at the shortstop's position. He has a double and has scored a run. And that double was to left center field, and it was quite a crushing shot by the young man. He's also walked, and in between the walk and the double, he flied out to right field, and at the time it was John Durgan out there in right field. Durgan has since gone to play first base, and Chris Kowalski's the pitcher. He broke that one off, snapped it off on the wrist, and has an 0-2 count now to Gilbert. Ryan Carter on deck if Gilbert can extend the inning. Pretty good lead down there at first base, and that's going to be scooped up at third. The throw, it's in the dirt, scooped out, and Durgan will make the tag. Nice job at third base that inning by Ellers. I want to check and make sure I have, yeah, that's 22, that's Ellers, and then Durgan with the nifty play at first base, and they'll retire the side for the 3rd consecutive inning in a row without a score. So we're going to the 6th, 5-1 MSJ. In the 6th, you'll be looking at David O'Neill, Anthony Sims, and Ian Rebben. So getting late in the ball game, just 6 outs left, and the part of the order actually went up right now for Black River. And that breaking ball again did not break, and that'll be ball 1. And Gilbert with 3 strikeouts. He had a 1-2-3 5th inning. And the senior will come in with a fastball above the belt, and that'll be ball 2. O'Neill, very good up there as far as knowing that strike zone. He's grounded out to the pitcher, and he's flied out to right field, so he's looking to get on base for the first time today. And he's just 1 pitch away from accomplishing that as it goes to 3 balls, no strikes. But he's the kind of guy, too, that might get the sign because he's such a good hitter. If it's in the zone 3-0 and it's a good pitch, swing away at it. No, that didn't happen. He didn't get the sign. They held him up at 3-0, and that'll be 3 balls, 1 strike now. So again, I wish all the weather could have been like this throughout the spring sports season. That's going to be down to second base. McCormick, he's got time. Sets himself, got him. You know what McCormick did so well, he just didn't panic. He took his time like an experienced veteran player. And we'll get the out. So O'Neill retired all 3 times so far today. And I'll bring up Anthony Sims, who has struck out, and he has singled and scored in the 4th. And that took place when Gilbert came in the 4th inning. Shirelli started, Gilbert relieved, and there's a strike. Again, got some big events coming up on Channel 15 on Munger Vision. I already told you, Legion Baseball, Post 31 starting in mid-June. Have all their home games for you, or a big majority of them. And then also on June 28th, the Vermont All-Star Basketball Challenge, as Vermont men and women All-Star basketball players from the high school, just graduating from high school, will be taking on the Western Massachusetts men's and women's All-Stars. And that will take place the 28th of June down at the College of St. Joseph the Provider. And the games start at 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. And if you've never been to St. Joe's Athletic Complex, you're in for a treat. It is beautiful. It's a lot of good seats. It's extremely clean and bright in there, and you'll love it. You should get out and support this event in person. Get out and watch the game in person, but also go home after and watch it on Channel 15. That's a walk to Sims. So Rebin coming up, and he had an RBI double last time he was up. Prior to that, he flied out to Haddock in center field. So see what Black River wants to do on the bases as far as being aggressive here. I know they're down, but Sims with good speed, and Scholdice with a good arm. He's behind the plate. Swing and a miss, and the runner will stay down at first base. That had a little cut action on it. I don't really know what Gilbert throws, but that looked like it could have been a cross seam fast, or with the seams fastball. So Rebin, the throw to first. I was looking at my book, but I can tell you, I guarantee the runner got back safe. And on deck is Ellers. So Black River trying to cut into that lead, if not tie the game up here. And there's a swing and a miss and a throw down, and he's safe. Yeah. Yeah, even when they came back with the tag, and what McCormick did so nicely there is he came in front of the bag trying to shorten the throw and reach back with the tag, but that'll be a stolen base. It was a good throw actually too, just a lot of speed out there. Sometimes you can have the best arm, most accurate arm as a catcher, but the guy on first base has just got a good lead and fast, and you can't do anything about it. And Gilbert got to work on his follow-through. That's why the ball sailed high on him. He's standing too erect after the pitch. Now it'll be a ball at 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got 3 strikeouts in the ball game. They'll reach out and poke that up to Ryan Carter, and he seems pretty comfortable with it. Big catch, foul territory. They're going to throw it to third, and they got him by a mile. He is gone. Can't believe they sent him with Carter. Carter's got an arm that could be launched by NASA. They'll get the out. That'll be the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-1 MSJ. So that was the first double play turn by MSJ in the ball game that ended the top of the 6th. Ryan Carter, Bill Scholdice, Will Haddock. The big guys in the order up there for MSJ now as they'll face Chris Kowalski for the first time. Kowalski came on to pitch in relief of Durgan, or I keep saying it wasn't Durgan, I'm sorry. He came on in relief of Brad Cross, who came on in relief of Jacob Carell. And that pitch will make it 2 balls, no strikes. They have put a major shift on to left field. It looks like a David Ortiz type shift. I know it's opposite hand batting, but the batter, Carter, right there just asked for time and got time, and there is a tremendous gap in center field. Carter, he can crank it. It's tough because they've all through the season they've been very selective. Teams have pitching to him, and it almost turns out they would rather intentionally walk him than to throw him pitches you can get a hold of. That makes it 3 balls, 1 strike. And so Carter, who has scored a run today, awaits the pitch from Kowalski. And that'll be outside. So Carter will be on with nobody down, and that'll bring up Billy Scholdice. Bill has flied out to right field twice and also struck out. So you gotta be thinking Scholdice is due here. for a base hit. And Schuldice, a very strong batter, also type of guy who can take it out of the yard. So he'll settle in. He started the game at first base defensively, went to the catcher spot for Carter. And he'll follow that. I believe he's going to be able to play Durgan. Oh no, what a job by Durgan. I tell you, what a great little player. Tell you what, I covered him when he played for Coach Carter's Rutland County Royal squad, and he was just a spark plug, a fire plug then, and he hasn't changed at all now. That was a great, fearless catch going into the chain link fence to get the out, and yeah, I would take him any second on my team. Haddock up, and he's had a great day at the plate. Willie Haddock has. He's been on base all 3 times he's been up. That pitch will go inside on him, and Haddock today has singled in the first, walked in the second, singled in the fourth. He has an RBI, and he's also scored a run, so his dad should take him out for supper after this game. He's done a good job. Ehlers, no, just ran out of room. He was out of play anyways, wouldn't have counted if he caught it. So after a good effort by Ehlers, that'll be just a foul ball strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th, scheduled for 7. Looks like we're going to make it. 1 out, 1 on. MSJ at the plate. Willie Haddock at bat. Ryan Carter at first base. The out recorded on a great catch and foul territory by John Durgan. And that will be fouled for strike 2 into the screen on the backstop. Ian Revin remains your catcher. He's done a good job today. Creaser's at second. O'Neill at short. Ehlers at third. On Haddock, lost this one up, and cross going back. It's not going to get it. I lost track of it. Now he'll make the catch. I couldn't see it because the window jam. I'll lose it there, but he was back up. It had to be deep to get Haddock out for the first time on a deep fly ball to Brad Cross. Now Mike Sorelli up. He has singled, has an RBI, he has walked, and he has also flied out to the shortstop, Dave O'Neill. And I believe that was the ball O'Neill caught in short left field. And that'll be ball 1. So Kowalski's job is to get out of this inning and not let MSJ score any more runs, not let the lead grow, so then Black River comes up in the top of the 7th for their, what could be their last at-bats. You know, they're still in the ball game. That'll be a foul ball over on the River Street. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, Black River's only down to 4 runs. They're right in the ball game. It's a non-league contest, and MSJ coming off a win over Pulteney, which was a non-league game. And that is going to get Carter to second base on that wild pitch. He'll take the turn, take the look, and Ryan's going to head back to second base. Again, that's, you got to play on the edge all the time. You know, that run at second base, you go, well, you know, we've got 3 outs left to go and we're up by 4. Well, yeah, you might need that next run. You play right on the edge all the time like it's a tie ball game in the 9th inning. He waited on it, and Sims coming deep, coming over, and coming underneath it will make the catch. And Black River coming up in the top of the 7th, looking for 4 runs to tie it, 5 to take the lead. It's 5-1 MSJ. And Gilbert with some defensive changes behind him. And I'll tell you that number 12 is out there playing second base, Will Champagne. Zach Richards in right field. And John Bizon is at shortstop. And other than that, Carter remains at first. Rhodes remains at third. Schuldice behind the plate, Haddock in center, and Kussel is in left. So 3 outs to go, possibly here on the evening. That's going to be right back to Gilbert. He'll make the grab, and he will flip the first, and there's 1 out. So Gilbert, who came on in the 4th, gave up the 1 run in the 4th, and then settled down nicely. After that, he has the 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Bobby Rohrig up. That's Ehlers that grounded out. Now Rohrig up. He has singled and he has struck out. So he's 1 for 2 today in the ball game. Glenn Carter, the head coach at MSJ. Jim O'Neill, the head coach at Ludlow, Black River. 2 very good baseball men, I'll tell you that. So Gilbert trying to finish strong here. That'll be stroked foul. Tell you what, he got around, pulled that one. That was almost like a golf swing. That ball was so low, but it'll go to a 1-1 count now. Cross due up on deck after Rohrig. That one just stayed high and stayed outside. That'll be a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike as Ryan Gilbert, number 3, with his back to you. They used Schuldeis pitching on Monday. They got Gilbert here on Wednesday. And their big game against crosstown rival coming up on their next schedule means they've got all the arms they need, or they want. They have Carter, Hadaka, and even Sorelli, because he only pitched 3 innings today. That's fouled back. And I believe Hadaka only pitched 3 innings on Monday, so they've been planned out. They've been sketched out. They had a game plan beginning of the week for what they want to do for pitching for the end of the week, and they've achieved it. Rohrig will have a 2-2 count with 1 down and nobody on base. Gilbert with the kick, the delivery, and just missed low. Good eye right there by Rohrig, and kind of a close one to take, but he had it pretty scoped out. It was right across the shin area. He'll ring him up. Rohrig had started to head down to... Now he started to head down to first base, and they rung him up. So Gilbert with 4 strikeouts now and cross up, or he's due up. Now this could be him. He could be a switch hitter because he throws left, but he could bat right, or he could be a switch hitter, which wouldn't work out if he was. And that one got away from Gilbert. Not really sure what that was called, but it'll be a ball. I mean, I know it was called a ball or strike. I mean, I don't know if that was a fastball or a curveball or a Gilbert ball. It was well outside the strike zone. That's all I know. So with a 1 ball, no strike count, Gilbert will come back and get it at the knee for a strike. If Cross can get on, that'll bring Kowalski up. There are 2 down in the 7th, 5-1 the Mounties. Boy, Gilbert almost like throwing darts at balloons at the fairgrounds right there with that pitch. He's pitching a little more pace between catching and firing now. He feels the adrenaline rush coming on toward the end of the game and surviving it. Goes to 3 balls and 1 strike though to Cross. So Brad Cross awaits the pitch and he'll be on. So they're alive and breathing still as they get the runner on via the walk, and they'll bring up Chris Kowalski, who has singled and struck out. So he's 1 for 2 today, and yes, this is his second look through the order at Gilbert. So the left-handed batter up. They're going to have Carter hold the runner on at first, which means there's a little bit more of a gap over there between first and second. If they can pull the ball, being a left-handed hitter, nice. No, he didn't get out of the way. He got hit. So Gilbert got the first 2 outs of the 7th, and now he's walked and hit a batter. And that will make it 2 on, 1 and 2 down for John Durgan. Durgan 0 for 3 today. No, I want to correct that. He's 0 for 2 today. He got hit by a pitch, then flied out to center and grounded out to third. And Coach Carter coming out, and that could be it for Mr. Gilbert. I got to believe he's going to leave him in there and finish this thing off, but because he's got, even if they hit a home run, he's still going to have the lead, and he's still got Willie Hadaka to bring in there. But I got to believe he's going to stick it out with Gilbert. Now, I have no idea what he's really saying. It's just speculation on my part. I'd tell him stop messing around with the breaking ball and just move the fastball around, get over the plate for a strike, and let your fielders do the job. I don't believe a lot in breaking balls unless you can throw them like Stevie Shortle could, or Kyle Massey, or those guys. I mean, you should spot the breaking ball. Gilbert's really thrown a lot of them today, and it's been a 50-50 proposition. That'll be inside to Durgan. Durgan gets on. They're going to bring Creaser up. That'd put O'Neill on double deck. So, and Durgan, like I said, he's fast down the line, and he knows the strike zone. That's going to be ball 2. It'll be interesting now to see if he loads the bases and brings a tying run to the plate. If Coach Carter will make that second visit to the mound, which means he would automatically have to take Gilbert out. There you go. Yeah, Gilbert trying to make it an irrelevant point and get the 3rd out here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. 1 on a walk and 1 by being hit by a pitch. And Gilbert And that could be the ball game, as you can hear the communications, and Champaign will make the catch, and that'll be the game, and MSJ will get the win. They'll go to 9 wins, 3 losses on the season. It was an excellent job by Black River. They had a shaky first 2 innings. After that, though, they really shut the Mounties down. They held them scoreless in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, so it'll be a 5-1 win for MSJ. Get out there, support your student athletes, and always support Munger Vision.